Okay, here we are, Ocean Stewards, back with the crew of One Ocean for another little planning meeting. And let's reflect back for just a minute. So last time we talked to the crew, they were right here and working their way down the coast of Nova Scotia. So from Halifax, we met and was talking about how you were going to get down to here and then across the Gulf of Maine. So what did that look like, crew? How'd you do?
Good morning, Mike. Mike, right at the moment, is visiting family in Michigan, and I hope you're having a great visit there, Mike. So we have been working our way between storm systems and doing approximately 35 nautical miles running through the nights or whenever it's calm. And now, right now, so then we went down to Dog's Hole, Nova Scotia, and now we're in Lockport, Nova Scotia, and trying to decide. We waited out a nor'easter, which is actually, it ripped for the last couple of days, and even this morning we could hear it just off of us. Now we're trying to decide when and where we take off and what we do next.
Yeah, we're really at a decision point. You said we'd only gone 35 nautical miles. It was 35 knots of wind that we've been fighting.
Yes.
And when we've been sort of crawling down the coast here and finding little hidey holes, beautiful ones, along this southeast coast of Nova Scotia. But we're at a decision point right now. We have to jump off and either go across the Gulf of Maine and head toward Cape Cod and follow the U.S. East Coast down to Charleston.
Well, we're also fighting a timeline a little bit because we did some research yesterday. We're a little behind schedule, and part of that is because of climate change. We have been fighting truly since we left Pond Inlet, one windstorm after another, after another, and we looked into it, and we're a good 10 days behind where Ocean Watch was in 2009-10. An interesting fact, Ocean Watch took from Pond Inlet to Halifax, it took them 18 days. And for us, it has taken 34 days.
34 days. And those
are and then some.
All weather delays.
Except for 3 in Guysborough, all of it has been weather delays.
Right. Yeah. So it's just big systems coming through. Not so much ice, but just big systems coming through. And we either beat into it and go nowhere fast and be uncomfortable, or we duck in. So we've chosen the duck in, giving us time to, figure things out. We have the same situation happening now on the next big leg. We either go to the coast, U.S. coast, and follow that, which takes a lot of time and is by no means certain that we don't run into more storms because there are big systems moving out here. It's a complicated weather pattern, very complicated weather pattern here.
Thursday, Friday, big weather.
Yeah. There's a nor'easter that has slammed into, it's been in the news, it's slammed into the East Coast. There are remnants of a hurricane, another hurricane forming south of here. And I don't know if you can see it right there, but wind and wave prediction chart is just mostly arrows of wind going in a whole bunch of different directions.
That's from the NOAA.
Yeah, and their weather and their surface weather analysis, wind and waves. And there are just, to give an idea, there are wind systems between where we are and basically Cape Hatteras, which is where we pretty much have to go. Wind of 30, 35 knots, wave heights of 6 meters. And a Gulf Stream to deal with that is contrary to all of this. So it's not a happy looking picture for the next, 1,000 miles.
Well, and for the next week because
it's all changing. This is all just moving, and it's moving in some predictable fashion, but sometimes not. So we need to predict the next one. So to summarize that, we either make a beeline over toward Cape Cod and commit to going close to the coast and inside the Gulf Stream, or we go straight on down, basically straight south and bend into Charleston, or
Or hold on to 1 second.
Hold on.
Mark woke up with some anxieties, and I believe your anxieties were talking to you about something not feeling right, because we did do some deep dive into this stuff last night. And
Going to Charleston is that we want to do that. We have some historic reasons for doing that. But then coming the next leg from where we want to go, we leave from Charleston and go all the way down to Uruguay, a big loop. And we have to go a fair amount east to do that, to come out of Charleston. Turns out if you look from where we are right now at this moment, and look straight south, there's a little island that a lot of people have heard about called Bermuda. And it's straight south. And we don't know if Mike has ever visited Bermuda.
If not,
Since he's flying in to meet us in Charleston, we might have a surprise for him.
we love surprises. We can do anything. I didn't
Bermuda,
know I was going to be here until about 2 days ago.
not a ticket yet, but when you look at the weather patterns, it's a whole lot more likely that we can find acceptable weather and tolerable conditions and out of the way of a hurricane if we go straight south to Bermuda. The one caveat is on the latest weather map, straight south,
hurricane.
there's another hurricane that's forming, and it's predicted to go a bit north and then fall off east. All of the predictions are saying that it moves east. So Bermuda is 700 miles and fairly reasonable looking conditions. Charleston is, I think it's 1,100 miles and full of a lot of weather and
Difficult.
So we're going to just mull on that. We have another day here before conditions.
We kind of decided another day because we laid out.
Hold on a second. Let's look at this on a map here. I want to pull this up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see this. So hold on.
Mark just stated this as we sat down around this chart. He's like, hold on, look at what's right here. It's like,
You get it, because the sailing bits, once you get underway, is generally better than where you're at. So here's a Google map. So they are sitting down here in the south end of Nova Scotia. So if we zoom out, there's South Carolina. So that's down here. And of course, we would look at the Gulf Stream.
South Carolina is Bermuda.
And then I think this little knoll, yeah, right there is Bermuda. Boom. Which is basically just due east of South Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely closer. Okay, so now let's look at wind. Do you want to look at windy for a minute? Just so
Sure.
we can
Yeah, let's look at windy.
and see. So same thing. I'm going to pull this up. Whoops. Right here. So we can see. So we know that Bermuda is down in here. And you got,
Yeah, so you can see the remnants, like the nor'easter there.
oh yeah, it's just now starting to clear out. So let's go forward to later this afternoon. And that's that system there. So you're looking at anything in between here and here. So let's go back. So captain, co-captains, you guys, I'm sure you've done it. You said it's about 700 miles.
700.
So you need about 5 days of sailing,
Yeah.
thereabouts. Okay. So you're talking about looking for a window where it just
Yeah.
clears out and you're sailing south. So this system is all moving east. And that's going to clear out. Looks
What
like,
day are you on there, Mike?
what's that?
What day are you on the windy?
Right here is Thursday. So I'm just looking at Tuesday. So here's end of today. So it looks like it's going to be pretty calm there later tonight, about after dinner.
Yeah, so we thought about leaving tonight, but then when we were planning to go toward shore, toward the mainland, look at Wednesday, Thursday.
But yeah,
and then
Wednesday.
Friday.
Yeah, well, it looks like just by Wednesday night, boom, you're getting hit with some pretty significant wind again already.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday, if you're over in the Gulf of Maine, still looks a little.
Yeah.
But even out in here, of course, it
Yeah.
depends too if you're running with it, right?
well,
that's
yeah, but
certainly
it
better.
has like it's the waves as well. They're pretty significant, which we discovered on here. So are you
Yeah.
on Friday now?
So there's Thursday. So Friday is when it looks like. So there's Friday morning.
I forgot. I remember seeing that purple. See the purple, the deep
Oh,
purple? That
oh yeah,
frightens me.
that's Friday. There's purple out there, but then the system's moving east. And then let's see. So just bigger picture. So it looks like there's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then there's this thing coming back up this way. Okay. Let me jump back. Let me give you guys back on screen so you can share some more thoughts. That just gives us an idea of what you said, Captain Mark. There's a whole lot of unsettledness, especially all down the East Coast right now.
Are you able to pick up the currents on your windy there, Mike?
I should be able to for sure.
See, the Gulf Stream complicates
Yeah.
some of this.
I think that's an interesting one for people to see, the Gulf Stream.
The Gulf Stream, just as a reminder to everybody, moves basically from the south to the north and then curls and turns east. And we have to cross that someplace. And the current you're going to see Mike brings it up.
We're trying to pick the most narrow part of the Gulf Stream to cross.
And it weakens as it goes east. It meanders, and so there's a daily report so you can find your way across.
Here is the current, which we can do for 3 days. So there's that Gulf Stream you're talking about, you guys. Yes. Right here, it's pretty close to the shore.
Yeah, now that white current, I believe that's like a 3+ current in there.
3 knots.
I believe you're right. 2.9, yeah.
So you see, as that comes up the East Coast, we don't want to
Get
try
trapped.
and go against that current. We either have to be inside of that current or outside of the Gulf Stream. If we're going to Charleston, we have to get inside at some point. If we're not going to Charleston, we just cross it. So
if you're coming this way, it's just pushing you a little sideways. That's not the end of the world. If you're here, you're going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. I've had that experience, so we don't want to do that. And it changes the wave patterns. If it's the current against the wind, things get pretty lumpy. But it's all doable. We can manage to do any of that. But in looking at going south from here to Bermuda and then going to Puerto Rico, we've saved a significant number of miles. So we're going to look at this and just see what might work. And since we're doing online classrooms from the boat, we're still circling North and South America. It's still within the mission.
Yeah. I mean, being able to do the online stuff is a big, huge help, but.
Well, and being flexible and thinking outside of the box. Way to go, crew. I mean,
I'm sure everybody's wondering also, forgot to introduce volunteer Charlie.
Right.
So this is good. Charlie's hearing this Bermuda option for the first time.
As am I.
Yeah.
As are we.
He's planning to get off in Charleston. So, there may be some anxiety here. Hi, Charlie. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Shanghai Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. The thing I figured out is airplanes, you could just go anywhere these days,
It's interesting though, because it truly was like, Mark, you woke up with a lot of anxieties. We looked into a lot of this stuff last night with the NOAA predict stuff, and it just hasn't been feeling good. We just couldn't see a good option. We went like, if we left today, if we left Wednesday, Thursday, and whatever option, it just wasn't feeling great. It was looking big and uncomfortable. And sometimes those anxieties are telling you something. And I think they were telling you something, that you were uncomfortable with any of the plans. So that's when all of a sudden you went, oh.
Well, it was sort of the best option of nothing ideal. we also know that on the East Coast and the ports that we're planning to visit, particularly Charleston, they've been underwater a few days. They got hit pretty hard, and it's been in all the news, and more is coming toward them. So, I don't know. So I think being flexible is an important part of this.
I think it's very important. And so it sounds like the wind is letting up, but you don't have a window to leave today. So you're going to probably do some boat chores and muse on this for a while, or
Yeah.
Certainly today, we'll muse on it today. And I would hope that if we have a little bit of a window, I'm looking at what we have here in the predictions. We have a window up here,
Well,
favorable.
I mean, today is Tuesday.
Yep.
We could possibly leave later this afternoon.
later
And run
or this
I,
evening.
I, if we were to leave, we have to leave in the light here because it's a complicated process getting into this port. We do have some grocery shopping and other things we have to get done.
We do also have, I mean, tomorrow is Tuesday, and 2 days from now, we run into a pretty significant amount of weather, 30, 35 knots and 5-meter seas on the second day.
If we go into,
Well, it's going, the rum line to Bermuda is basically going right through that. This has to move off just a little, or we have to come around here. So there's options. So we're gonna try and make the best choice, for the week's worth of voyaging. And we have to look at what happens after then Bermuda or after Charleston. Getting out of Charleston could be far more difficult than leaving from Bermuda toward South America. So that weighs pretty heavily too. It's a better option.
Seems like I hadn't even thought of any of these options. and it's, but I mean, as far as the boat and the mission and putting some miles under the keel, that does seem brilliant.
All right, Ocean Stewards, thank you for joining the One Ocean team for our daily planning meeting. We will update you shortly whether or not we go to Bermuda, we go right to South Carolina. Who knows what's going to happen, so stay tuned for more, and we'll be back with more daily decisions.
We'll let you know where Charlie's going to land.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Flags are flying and the laughter soars, salt on their lips as adventure roars.